Hi everybody. Today's tutorial is on block 17 from the LEISUREARTS 63 block heirloom Afghan. Tammy and some others have requested block 17, which is the cluster square. Now mine is flat because it's been inside the pattern. The pattern book here, so it got kind of smashed on. So that's what the tutorial is going to be on today. You'll need your yarn. Now, you'll notice a stitch marker here. Have yourself a stitch marker because you need to know the right side of your square. Because to fix this, you just got to push your puffs out once you're done, and you'll see more as we get into doing this. Now, the pattern here, the pattern says to chain 12 and join with a slip stitch to form a ring. I found that just very inconvenient, so I went ahead and I used a magic circle, magic ring. When you have a pattern and you come up on something like that you're having difficulty with, you can always dig into your skills and tools bag. What other stitches do I know that do the same thing? And it might work out better. When I used the magic ring, the clusters worked out a whole lot better. So, what is a magic ring? There are plenty of tutorials on the internet. I'll show you how I do mine. Okay, I have my yarn. I lay it across 3 fingers like this, and then I bring my yarn around, crossing over on an X, and bring it across the back of my hand, and then just hold it with your little finger. Then you're going to come with your crochet hook, go under the first strand, and then hook on to your second one, and as you're bringing it back under, twist it. Okay, there's your magic circle. Now in the very first thing in the pattern it says is to chain 3, so let's just do our chain 3, and that'll secure the magic loop. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me just stop this here for a second. Okay, I just had to change my hook here. The hook I was using was the wrong way. This is an H hook to use with this yarn. So then, what we're going to do, you did your chain 3, which counts as your first double crochet, now and throughout the pattern. Remember that. So then we're going to put 3 double crochets into the ring. Now, when you're doing this, I'm twisted here. Keep your magic ring tail to the left. And I'm going to put my 4 double crochets. Don't worry, this gets wonky, and I'll show you how we fix it after we're done with the first round. There's 1. There's 2. Figures I pick a yarn, it splits. There's 3. And 1 more. And there's your chain 3 and 3 double crochets. Now the next is we're going to work a cluster stitch. What is a cluster stitch? A cluster stitch is yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through just 2 loops. You do that until you have 7 loops on your hook. So yarn over, pull up a loop, just trying to keep things, and then pull through 2 loops. And this yarn's splitting, lovely. So do that until you have 7 loops on your hook. Three, 6, this will be my last one. Yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. You should have 7 loops on your hook. 3, 6, 7. Now the next is we're going to yarn over and draw through 6 of the loops, leaving 2 loops on the hook. So let's pull through 6. That leaves me 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through those 2. And that completes your cluster stitch. And like I said, just going to kind of have to keep pulling this because it gets a little tight here in the magic circle. Now we're going to put 4 double crochets next. And that's your repeat, 4 double crochets and a cluster stitch. So here we go. 4 double crochets. More, and that makes my 4 double crochets. Now we're going to do a cluster stitch. I'm going to do this one with you, and then I'll go off camera and you can do your last 2 repeats, and then I will join you back when we get to the last cluster stitch. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, I'm going to stop here for a second because you see here I'm coming up on my tail from my magic ring. So I'm just going to kind of just pull a little bit. There you go. Just pull it. Okay? And then I will continue on with my cluster stitch. So we yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we should have 7. There's 2, 4, 6, 7. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 6 of the loops, leaving 2 loops on your hook. And then you're going to yarn over and pull through that. And that's your second cluster made. Now you're going to chain, put 4 double crochets, cluster stitch, 4 double crochets, cluster stitch, and then I'll meet you back here. Okay, so here it looks pretty crowded in there, doesn't it? And you're saying, well, where's my cluster stitch? As you're doing this, the cluster stitch pops out once you start getting going. If you look here, how I did it. Here's my 4 cluster stitches. And it depends on how tight you crochet and what have you. But you're saying, boy, things look pretty crowded in there. Yeah, it does. So once you get your last cluster stitch done, what you're going to do is you are going to slip stitch to the first double crochet, which was your chain 3. So find that top chain, and then just slip stitch through there. And you've joined what you think is a circle, but it's not. So let me pull this up here, and now we're going to, well, I pulled my magic ring tail to the right side. It's supposed to be on the wrong side. Let's just pull that back through there. Tighten down my square, and then just pull your magic ring to tighten, tighten up your circle there. It doesn't go perfectly closed because there's just so much yarn in here, but you can get it closed to, a little better. And then if you want, you can tack down that tail before you go any further if you want, or you can just keep tugging on it to close and then tack it down when you're finished sewing in your ends. So that's usually what I do. Okay, so there's my first puff stitch, there's my second puff stitch, third, and there's my fourth puff stitch. Okay, now round 2, we're going to chain 3 and double crochet in that same stitch. Okay, so chain 3 and double crochet in the same stitch. What I mean by same stitch, you look right in there, and that's where you're going to double crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop, 1, 2, okay? Then you're going to double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. So there's my stitch here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now, we're up to our cluster stitch. When you're doing a cluster stitch, you're going to see what looks like 2 stitches here. This is your cluster stitch. This is your first of your 4 double crochets in between, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Then there's your cluster stitch. So this, if you look, let me get my DPN and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And this is where some people are having some problems. I just put my 3rd double crochet in. That is the top of the cluster stitch, not this one. This one here is the first of the 4 double crochets in between your cluster stitch. So we're going to put 2 double crochets into the cluster stitch. So there's 1 and 2, and then chain 1. What we're doing here is we're making our corners. Chain 1, and in the next double crochet, put 2 double crochets. One. And there's your first corner made. And then you're going to double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, which brings us back to our cluster stitch. Then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the cluster stitch, and chain 1. Chain 1. Then go to the next double crochet here, put 2 double crochets. There it is. And the corners will work out more as we get into it. There's your second corner. Then repeat. Double crochet in the next 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, which brings us again, yes, back to our cluster stitch. And we're going to put 2 double crochets in that cluster stitch and then chain 1. Chain 1. Excuse me. And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. And that will be our 3rd corner made. Then double crochet in the next 3. And that will bring us up on our final cluster stitch. We are going to put 2 double crochets in the cluster stitch. Now here, if you remember in the beginning, we put those 2 stitches in the chain 3 and the double crochet in the same stitch. So here, all we do is join with a slip stitch. So find the top of chain 3 and join, and then we're going to count to make sure we have 28 double crochets. Okay, so that's what it looks like so far. So let's count our double crochets, remembering that the first chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to chain 1 after the those 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then 2 double crochets in the cluster and a chain 1. That's what I forgot, was a chain 1. Then you slip stitch for the join. Now we should have 28 double crochets. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28. So we're right on stitch count. Alright, round 3. Okay, on round 3 we're going to chain 3 and double crochet in the same stitch and in the next double crochet. So it's chain 3, 1, 2, 3, in the same stitch, which is right here. Trying to find my stitch here. There it is right there. Okay. And then we double crochet in the next stitch. Just my double crochet right here. And now we're going to work a cluster in the next double crochet and then double crochet in the next double crochet. So let's work our cluster. There's 1, yarn over 2. Remember, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay, so we have 3, 6, 7. Then we're going to yarn over, pull through 6, leaving 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through those 2, cluster made. Then double crochet in the next double crochet. Okay. We're going to do that twice. Excuse me. So we're going to work a cluster. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull up a loop, continue till you have 7 loops on your hook. Three, 6, 1 more. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through 6 loops, leaving 2 on your hook. Then you will yarn over and pull through those 2. Then double crochet in the next double crochet. And there are your 2 baubles made. Or not baubles, clusters. I keep calling them baubles. Now, we're going to do 2 double crochets in the next double crochet and chain 2. Okay, so we're going to go 2 double crochets in here, chain 2. As you can see, we're making a corner. Then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. And then and then double crochet in the next double crochet. So what we did was, after we did our cluster and then 1 double crochet, you put 2 double crochets in the next double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next chain 2. What that does is that makes your corner. And then double crochet in the next Now we're going to repeat that again. We're going to work a cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that will give us our 7 loops. 3, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through 6, leaving 2 on. Yarn over, pull through 2. And then the repeat. Then it's double crochet in the next double crochet. And we're going to do another cluster. So do your cluster. And 6, which should give us our 7 loops. 3, 6, 7. Then we yarn it over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay? And then double crochet in the next double crochet. And then we're going to put 2 double crochets in the next double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. So there's 1 double crochet, and we're making a corner. It's 2 double crochets, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. And then double crochet in the next double crochet. And we're going to do our repeat. You got it. Cluster, double crochet in the next double crochet, cluster, double crochet in the next double crochet. So we'll work our cluster. 1, 6, and there's my 7. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through the last 2, double crochet in the next stitch. Sometimes you have to pull to see your stitch. And cluster, and then double crochet next double crochet. So you go ahead and finish this repeat for this round here. You'll do a cluster, double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next double crochet in the next double crochet, and then do your cluster, double crochet, cluster, double crochet, chain 2, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I'm around here. I just did my second cluster on this side, and I did my double crochet. So I have, in the next one, I'm going to double crochet, put 2 double crochets. Then we're going to chain 2 and slip stitch to the first double crochet, which was the chain 3. So find your third chain and slip stitch to join. If I can get my hook in there. Well, I didn't get under both bars, so let's try that one more time. I like to get under both bars because it makes a neater join. Okay, So let's see what we have so far. And you're saying, well, that doesn't look square. It will, because you have to block this. But if you put your finger, forefinger, and your thumb, middle finger, whichever one it is, and pull your square, there you go. You can see your cluster stitches. They're stacked, and that's what it looks. So now we're going on to round 5. 1, 2, 3. Nope. I apologize. We're going on to round 4. We're going to start this one the same way as we started all the other ones. We're going to chain 3. And we're going to double crochet in that same stitch and in the next 2 double crochets. Okay. Excuse me. So let's do our chain 3 and double crochet in that same stitch. This is round 4. And for round 4, we're going to chain 3, double crochet in the same stitch, and in the next 2 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and then we're going to double crochet in the next cluster, and then double crochet in the next double crochet. We're going to do that 2 times. Okay? So, double crochet in the cluster. Then we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet. That's once. Then we're going to double crochet in the cluster. Then double crochet in the next double crochet. Then we're going to double crochet in the next double crochet, then 2 double crochets in the next one. And yes, you got it, we're going to be making our corner. There's 1, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets and chain 2. 1, there's 2, then chain 2, then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. There's 1, there's 2, then double crochet in the next double crochet. Another corner made right there. And once you've done that, we're going to double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. Let's check that again. 2 double crochets in the next double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next double crochet, then double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. There's 1, there's 2. Then we're going to double crochet in the cluster and then double crochet in the next double crochet. We'll do that twice. So there is my double crochet in the cluster. Then there's my double crochet in the next double crochet, which brings us up to the next cluster. Double crochet in that cluster, and then double crochet in the next double crochet. Like I said, this yarn I'm working with is this is sweet roll, so it's kind of really stretchy. And this block definitely has to be blocked when you're done with it to get everything to line up. I just pinned it out and steam blocked it. Okay, and once we did that, of course we're coming up, getting ready to go to our next corner. So you're going to double crochet in the next double crochet, then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet, chain 2, chain 2, chain 1, chain 2, and then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. There's 1, there's 2. What did I do here? Oh, forgot to finish my double crochet. I do that sometimes. Get those moments. There's my second double crochet. Put some yarn here. And then we're going to double crochet in the next 2 double crochets. And then we're going to do double crochet in the cluster and the next double crochet twice. So, double crochet in your cluster, double crochet in the next double crochet, double crochet in the cluster, double crochet in the double crochet, next double crochet. Seeing a lot of double crochets here. Okay, then double crochet in the next double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. 1, 2, and you're going to chain 2. 1, and then 2 double crochets in the next double crochet. 1, 2, then double crochet in the next 2 stitches, which brings us to the cluster, and you do that repeat again, where we double crochet in the cluster and the next double crochet twice. There's the cluster stitch, the double crochet, which brings us to the next cluster stitch, double crochet, need some yarn here, and then next stitch, double crochet, which will leave us 2 stitches, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets in the same stitch, 1, and then 2 double crochets in this stitch. One, sorry, there's 2, and then chain 2, which will bring us to the beginning of our round. Find that chain 3, slip stitch to that first third chain, and that completes round 4. You can see them side by side. This is a little bit hard to see, that's why I'm using a little bit darker of a color. But that is chain 4, and you can see what it looks like. Different yarn. This is number 3 yarn, this is number 4 yarn. So, we will get ready to go on to round 5. And there are only 7 rounds in this block plus an edging. So we're on round 5, which will leave us 6 and 7, and then our edging. Okay, round 5. And we're going to start the same way we started the other rounds. You're going to chain 3, you're going to double crochet in the same stitch, and in the next 2 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, double crochet in the same stitch, and then in the next 2 stitches, put double crochets. There's 1 and 2. Then we're going to work a cluster in the next double crochet, and then a double crochet in the next stitch. So let's work our cluster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that should give us our 7 loops. 3, 6, 7, yarn over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through the last 2, then double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1. Now we're going to do a cluster. Three, 6, last one. Yarn over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through 2, double crochet next stitch. That's 2 repeats done, 1 more. The cluster stitch. Three, 6, 7, yarn over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through the last 2, double crochet in the next stitch. Leaves us 2 stitches, double crochet in the next stitch, then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. We're making our corner. Chain 2, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, there is your first corner complete. Excuse me, it's not chain 2, it's chain 3. So it would be 2 double crochets, chain 3, and 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Okay. Next, we're going to double crochet in the next 2 double crochets, work our cluster, double crochet in the next stitch 3 times. So there's 1 and then 2, and now we're going to do cluster, double crochet 3 times. So cluster stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We should have 7 loops on our hook. 3, 6, 7. Yarn over, pull through 6. Yarn over, pull through the other 2. Double crochet in the next stitch, and repeat. We're going to repeat that 2 more times, and I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, so then you should have 3 cluster stitches on this side, and then if you look, you will have 2 double crochets left, which means double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch. There's 1, 2 double crochets, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then 2 double crochets in the next stitch, oops, Doesn't help when you lose your stitch. And then we're going to double crochet in the next let's see, 2 double crochets, chain 3, 2 double crochets, and then double crochet in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and then we're going to do the same thing here. Is we're going to work a cluster stitch, and then a double crochet, work a cluster stitch, double crochet, work a cluster stitch, double crochet for a total of 3 times. So, cluster stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this should give us 7 loops. 3, 6, 7, yarn over, pull through 6, yarn over, pull through 2, and double crochet in the next stitch. Now repeat that 2 more times, and I will meet you at the corner. Okay, so let's just back out a little bit here. My camera come down a bit. There we go. So that's what you have so far. We have one more side. There's your 3 stitches. So we have 2 stitches left, and we will double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the next stitch, chain 3, 2 double crochets in the next stitch. Make the corner. Chain 3, and then 2 double crochets. And then double crochet the next 2 stitches after you complete the 2 double crochets in this stitch. And then you're going to repeat your cluster stitch, double crochet, cluster stitch, double crochet. You should have 3 cluster stitches with the 3 double crochets. And when we finish that, we will double crochet into the next stitch, 2 double crochets, chain 3, and we will slip stitch to join. So I will meet you at the end of this row, and we'll join together. Okay, I just completed my 3 repeats on the cluster stitch, double crochet, leaves me 2 stitches. So I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets in the last stitch, followed by 3 chains. And then we will slip stitch to join on the first double crochet. 1, 2, 3, then slip stitch to join. And that is the end of your cluster stitch. The last couple of rounds in edging is all pretty self-explanatory, single crochets and stuff like that. But these were the cluster stitches that everybody was having trouble with. And not all my stitches are pushed through. But that's what the cluster stitches look like. Round 6, basically what you're going to do is you're going to chain 1 and single crochet in the same space, and then you're going to single crochet in every double crochet and each cluster around, and then when you get to the chain 3 space, you put 5 single crochets, and when you're finished you should have 72 single crochets. And round 7, chain 1, single crochet in the first 15 single crochets, then 3 single crochets in the next single crochet, and repeat. Those are pretty easy there, but this was the part that everybody was having a problem with, and that's what I wanted to get the tutorial done on. So I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. And again, if I apologize I couldn't get to this sooner, but I finally got it done. And if you need help with any more squares, just message me, email me, and I will get a tutorial up for you. So now I've got to upload this, and as usual, I will put the what we're doing, the round there, in the picture, the video, so you know you can freeze it or write it down to work your way around. So, hugs, smiles, and happiness. Pass it on. Make the world a better place. Here's saying bye to you for now from Deer Island, here in the middle of the Bay of Fundy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.